Hello everyone, welcome to this lecture. In the previous lecture, we would have seen how to pass on the arguments to a function. In this lecture, we're going to see what is a return statement in a function. So let me just bring in the syntax, which is initially I have to define the function with any function name as per the user's choice. Next, I have to leave a tab spacing and I have to type in the statements part. Next, so you can give as many number of statements as you want. Now moving on to the next, which is the return statement. So you have to give in the expression for this. So after a return statement, you have to give the expression which are from the statements part. Now after this, you have to specify the function call. So that's all about the syntax. Now what is a return function or a return statement? A return statement is used to end the execution of the function call. So this return is used to end the function over here. So it is used to return the result. Now there's an exception that whenever you use a return, it should be used only inside the function. That is, it shouldn't be used like this. Instead, it should be used inside this function. Now moving on to the example. So let me take an example which we would have already discussed in the previous lecture so that you'll get a better idea. So def add of, I'm going to take in two arguments which are a and b followed by a colon, and now I'm going to print a plus b. Now after this I'm going to call the function which is add of, let it be 1, 2, and now let's check the output. There you go, we have 3 as the answer. So this example would have been already discussed in the previous lecture. So I've taken this so that you'll get a better idea. Now I'm going to compare it with another example that I'm going to use with this syntax. So def, let me take the function name as add1 with the two arguments which are a and b followed by a colon, and now I'm going to print in a statement which is c equal to a plus b. So I'm going to type only a single statement. Now moving on to the return part, which is, let me type return and followed by the expression which is over here, it's c. Since c is a variable name that has been assigned to add these two numbers, now I've given the return statement. Now I have to call. So add1, I'm going to call it with 10, 20 as these values. So let's see whether it can return 30. So what happened? It did not return any value. So the main thing that you have to keep in mind while printing this return is whenever you're calling a function, you have to assign a variable name to it. So in this case, I'm going to assign a and s as the variable name, and in the next step you have to print that a and s, and now you check the output and there you go, we have 30. So this is one of the main exceptions of this return statement. So whenever you're using return, never forget to assign a variable name to the function call. So moving on to the next example, which is def. Now I'm going to multiply the two parameters, which is I'm going to give a and b. Now I'm going to use the same thing, which is c equal to a into b. Now I'm going to return it. So next I have to assign a variable name result. Instead of a and s, let me assign it as result. And now I'm gonna call the function, which is mult, and now let it be 2 and let it be Mike. So I have to print the result. So let's check the output, and there you go, we have printed Mike twice. So that's all about this return statement. So I hope you might have got many ideas regarding this return statement. So that's it for this lecture. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.